Hello everyone and welcome back. We are back with another health update about 11 months after our last one. We've been a little busy. Mostly really good busy, right? So so settle on in, grab a beverage, make yourself cozy.
Or 2 or 3 or 4.
Or all the beverages, maybe. We may split this up into multiple videos depending on how chatty we are. So who knows? It's going to be a wild ride.
Us? Chatty? I don't know about that.
All right, where do you want to start? Back in January 2023? Is that where we think we were?
We were slackers. Well, anyways, you got to see lots of fun things through all of Jen's Facebook posts. So, all the fun stuff. We didn't post any of the ecky stuff. Because really, kind of who wants to see that? But we think it's really important that you do hear it because we don't want you to think that this journey is nothing but roses because it's been a lot. And those of you who have been with me on this journey through this year will know you've been with me when I've been sick or whatever. So, so we're going to just update all the fun things we did, but then we're going to sprinkle in all the ecky things that happened too. So,
all right, so we're going to start in February. Yeah. You want to start with your birthday?
Birthday month.
Birthday month.
That will always continue. Birthday month should be the biggest fundraising month for Fearless Living. I'm just putting that out to you right now.
Love it.
But birthday month started in December between Chrissy and I because we got tickets to Hamilton for the Fortons, Rowans, Litchfields, Lassondes. And we all went. And Glenn's. So we all went on the actual day, right?
Yeah.
It was on the
Yours
night.
And
Hattie's. And we had they rented a room at Maggiano's, a private room, and we had Barbie cake. Hattie was so excited for her Barbie cake. And then we went to see Hamilton together, and it was just an amazing evening.
So good.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was a great way to start out the month.
It was.
And then at the end of the month, I had chemo, which was my last chemo. Did we do stuff in between there?
We did. Well, Riley did her bucket list with a twist item.
Oh, girl sleepover.
Her sleepover.
You saw pictures of that, I'm sure, if you follow Jen on Facebook and Instagram. Riley planned an all-girls sleepover. She planned the games. She planned the food. We had a popcorn bar, because when we go to the movies, they get their candy and they get their popcorn and they dump it all into one thing. So Riley had a whole thing of candies that you could put in your popcorn. Then she had, of course, what every sleepover should have, macaroni and cheese and pizza. And then
an ice cream sundae bar.
An ice cream sundae bar. Because ice cream is my favorite thing.
We never got around to watching movies, but we played lots of games. It was very silly.
That's not true. Fun. We did put the movies on, but the two people who should never run a sleepover are, well, actually 3.
Riley and me,
Chrissy,
who want to go to bed at 9 p.m.
And Chrissy. Yeah. And Chrissy wants to do one now.
I know.
I'm like, we're going to have it at 9 in the morning.
If Chrissy runs a sleepover, that is my kind of sleepover. We'll all be in bed by 9:15. It'll be a wild night.
Yeah. So I watched the movie, whatever, I forget.
Oh, that was good of you.
And you guys all slept.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was fun.
It was a fun night.
It was fun.
She did a great job.
She made up games. They wrapped people in tinfoil. Of course, the Wizard of Oz group won, and it wasn't me who picked. It was my cousins. So you can go back and look at Jen's pictures and see all the fun things that they did.
I think we have a bucket list with a twist, shared album on Facebook. So you can probably find it through either of our accounts.
Yeah, and everyone had a really good time at that.
And then in early March, Millie did her bucket list with a twist item.
Yeah, I really prayed that this wasn't happening. Sorry, Mel. She wanted to go horseback riding in the snow. And I was like, oh my goodness. So for those of you who have been aware, like I have cancer in my femurs and my pelvic bones or something back there. And so it kind of hurts to sit down most of the time. So I have like a cushion that I bring with me. And so I can do all these things. But I wasn't quite sure how I could do a cushion on the horse.
On a horse, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it snowed and we went. And it was awesome though, because this horse had like a built-in like indent.
Well, and it wasn't like, I thought you'd be sitting on like a hard leather saddle, but it wasn't. It was like a soft, fleecy kind of thing that they just put on the horse's back. It was Terry's friends that let us come to their home, and they have all these rescued animals, including some horses. So it was really nice. Like, it wasn't like a thing we had to like sign up and go and pay for, and they were really willing to like make it whatever we wanted it to be. Yeah. So that was nice too.
And so when we're in there, you know, they're introducing us to all the horses, and there's this big, tall, gray, beautiful horse, Appalachian, something like that. Whatever, one of the horses that the cowboys and Indians would ride on in the old Western movies.
Really tall.
Yeah, like, really tall. So we're all standing there talking, and the woman that owns the farm goes to get helmets for us because, like, even though we don't have a saddle, you could fall off, and so we had to wear helmets. So as she's bringing the helmet out, I'm standing near the opening of the pen for the tall horse. And all of a sudden, as if by cue, he leans down, pulls my hat off my head, and drops it on the ground to get ready for the helmet. And really funny. So I'm like, well, I guess you all know I have no hair now. Like you know, like he totally wanted my hat off to get that helmet put on. And of course, Jen, who is quick at everything, just missed that shot. It was like, oh man, if we could have got that, that would have been perfect. But it was pretty fun. And I had just finished chemo the week before that, the weekend, right? The end of February, like the 23rd,
I think is when you finished. Yep, and then this was March 11th. Yeah, and didn't it kind of snow a little bit that day?
It did. So that's what made it even more perfect, because we weren't sure that they were gonna let us go. Because it was kind of rainy.
And it was kind of rainy in the morning.
First, and then it switched. When we got there, it switched to the snow. And it was...
Millie loved it.
It was beautiful. They actually offered to hire Millie to work there. Yeah. I think if she was a little older, she probably would have taken them up on it, because she really loved it. Yeah. And I actually did too. It was really nice. You rode.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah, so that was a nice little thing that we did. And then on the other thing that we missed is on March 1st to the 3rd, the Conchi girls ran an auction for us.
Yeah, that's right.
And before that, they had us on some lives so that, you know, people would know what our fund was about, the Fearless Living Fund. And I should have wrote this down. I think they raised over $3,000.
I think so too.
At that, you know, and they're going to do it every quarter for us. And
the first quarter of the year.
Yeah, every first quarter of the year for Fearless Living. So every quarter of the year they sponsor some charity, and so ours will always be the first quarter of the year. And it was really thoughtful and kind of Molly, Libby, and Samantha to pick us as one of their charities, and I'm forever thankful for that. It was really nice. Yeah. And they took... So the lives, they saved them because they said they want to be able to have it with me in it. So later they can Like put it out when I'm not here, so people know what, the reason for the charity and why I wanted to start it.
And this is kind of jumping ahead, but in October we finally got our fearlesslivingfund.org website up, and there are links to all these kinds of fearless living related events, so you can find the video linked on our website for that video.
Yeah. So that was really sweet of them to do that. And then on the 16th of March, I had my scans. So, and it was right before I was supposed to go away and have fun.
Right. You were in Florida, right?
Dr. Lynn approved vacation after all my horrible cancer treatments. And so we got the results of the scans, and they were good.
Great, yeah.
And so she was like, you're all clear to go. I also had, at that same appointment, I have this treatment for my bone cancer. It's Zometa. And Zometa is something that the medical community has found to be helpful in bone cancer now. Before, it was given once a year for
like osteoporosis or something?
Yeah. And so when you got older and your bones started to not cooperate, they would give you Zometa once a year. Well, they found that with cancer inside your bones, and they're giving you Zometa, it makes your bones stronger so it doesn't break from the cancer.
Yeah.
So I get it every 3 months. And so, and it's an infusion. It takes 20 minutes. The actual infusion takes 20 minutes. You're there for about an hour, but it's not bad. So I had that, and then I think the next day maybe we went to Florida. Something or
2
close
days later,
to.
it looks like. 2 days later, the 21st of March until April 7th, you guys were down in Florida, you and Dad.
Wow. It was a long time.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. We first we went to Cheryl Hinton's group, and we did I guess I was their guest for their meetup. And
she's one of your eBay friends, for folks who don't know.
And she's a Dirty Diane. Yeah. And she, Callie Rasmussen, became a Dirty Diane at that meeting. And if you want to know what that is, you can check out the
fearlesslivingfund.org.
Yes.
It's right on the main page there.
Yeah. And then we left. We had a great time. It was fun. And then we left there and we went to Casey's Lagoon. Casey Paris, my friend. And we all hung out there and drank and looked at... I know, it's amazing.
You lounged by the pool and drank?
Yes.
Wow.
And then we all went out to dinner together. So that was really cool. And then we went to Robin and Ray's, and we went to Clearwater Beach to Dad's favorite restaurant.
On Clearwater Beach there?
Yeah.
Palm Pavilion.
And we were supposed to meet Rita Marie, my cousin, but the traffic going over the Causeway Bridge was like, by the time we got down there, it was really, because we told her we would message her when we got there, and it was like craziness. And so, and she was babysitting, so we didn't get to meet up with her. And then she thought she would meet us at John's Pass later, but that didn't happen either. But we had a nice time, and Robin and Ray had never been to those two places.
Oh.
And so they were very happy to have found them. And
did you get to meet their new grandbaby while you were there?
So not then, because they were away. But later in the trip, yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So they were in Texas, I believe, when we were at the house. And then, so then the next day we were supposed to get up and leave and go to Eddie and Nancy's. Well, I got this terrible, I was so sick. I I don't recall even what happened. Like, I had a fever.
You had a really high. I just know
me.
that Dad called me panicked, and we called in to Dr. Lynn, your oncologist, to check everything out. You had a really high fever. I think you had like congestion-y kind of symptoms. We were kind of worried that you had COVID, but I think you had a COVID test or something with you, so you didn't have COVID. And you know, she gave us some instructions on if this thing, if that thing, then you have to go to the emergency room. But then, was it by the next morning?
Next morning I was fine.
You were fine.
But that night, so we were supposed to be driving to Eddie and Nancy's, my other cousin, that day, and
like the car was packed and ready, but then you stayed where you were.
Because I couldn't. And so that night, I finally got up, and Ray went out and got me some soup or something. I don't even really remember because I was like kind of out of it. And then Rick was like, it's only an hour ride to get to Eddie and Nancy. Do you think you can make it? Yeah. You know? And I'm like, sure. Sure, whatever you say.
Yeah.
And so he got me in the car. We said goodbye, and we got to Eddie and Nancy's, and Nancy's a nurse, so that made me feel a little better. And so I looked at their house, said goodnight, and I got in bed.
Yeah.
And the next morning, I was fine.
Yeah, I know. It was weird and kind of scary, but at least it resolved very quickly. So you must have just got some little bug that your body was not happy about.
No, and they said, I mean, I can get everything or anything. And so God only knows what it was or what happened, but I just was not well. And then Eddie had plans. Well, I felt badly because he had made a dinner for us the night before and we never got there. And then, so he had planned a boat trip for us, and he's like, you don't have to go, it's fine. I'm like, I want to go. We went. It was the most glorious day. We had lunch. They packed a lunch, and we had lunch on, it's called Longboat Key, and like, it was like a little, peninsula, and there was like a marina on this end, but we were on the end. We just pulled up and docked into the beach, and he had chairs for us. We went and sat there, and we ate our lunch, and then we went back, and I forget what we did that. He made burgers and stuff for us, and then we played games all night, just board games and stuff. Yeah. So that was really fun. And then the next day, we went to the Red Sox game at Tampa Bay. And that was really fun too, cool. Except for he bought parking because he didn't want us to have any trouble.
Yeah.
But we had trouble because he bought parking.
Oh, no.
And so we kept driving around looking for the number of the place that we're supposed to be parking at. Couldn't find it. And then I'm like, there was a building all boarded up and like fenced around, like, because it was construction. That's
where you had to go?
Well, of course it wasn't. It was closed. They should not have sold.
They sold you parking for a place you couldn't park?
Yes.
Woo. Sounds like something would happen in Boston.
So he did message when we got home, and I believe he got his money back, but it was like, okay, how much money did they get from people that the
just
building?
Said forget it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yeah. But we had a grand time at the game. Then we left there and we went to Orlando. And we went to our place that we love. And it's called Bonnet Creek.
Yep.
Bonnet Creek. Yep. And it has it's a Disney property, but we were just going to hang out there. So we were there for a few days. And then, so all my friends from eBay came again. Mm-hmm. So we had Cheryl and Casey and Callie and Kelly and me and Dad and Robin and Ray. I think they came the next day, though. Robin and Ray didn't come on the first day. And, we just had a blast in the water and just hanging out. And then that evening, we went to the Mexican restaurant on the property. And then they all left. And the next day, I think, was when Robin and Ray came. And that's when we saw... Ophelia. We got to meet her for the first time, and it was amazing. And so we went to the show in New Orleans. Rosie and we all had gone the year before.
What do you mean you went to a show in New Orleans? You were in Florida.
In New Orleans, Florida. It's in the Disney. On the Disney property.
Oh.
Like you could
go... Is it
a
restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this guy... Yeah, it is confusing because we went to New Orleans, but it was in Florida. And we had gone there the year before with Robin and Ray, Rosemary and Barry, Gail, not Megan, I don't think. Maybe Megan. And so they loved it there. And then this guy played the piano. I forget what his name was, but he is great. And so we went to that night with the kids because they hadn't ever seen it. And it was so fun. And he like makes you get up and do like YMCA or crazy things. Like the boys have to do things and the girls have to do things. And, you know, so we did that. And then... I think we left the next day, maybe. I don't remember now. It's a long time ago.
You saw Richie and Charlotte while you were there.
Yeah, so then we left. Yep, so we left there and we went to them next, maybe. Yeah, and then I got sick again. So when we drove over, we stopped at this beautiful marina to have lunch. And, it was gorgeous. And the sky opened up. It was amazing, like, just to see this, like, these huge yachts, like, and the sky, like, the rain as big as you've ever seen. Like, it was just beautiful. And, like, you would think you wouldn't think that was good, right? Yeah. But it was just so pretty. Yeah. You know? And we sat there, and then I was just getting sicker and sicker. I didn't eat my meal. And he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm feeling well." And so we got to Richie and Charlotte's, and their home was beautiful. And they, were showing us around, and then I was like, we were supposed to go out to dinner with them, and I didn't feel good. And so, and they're so sweet. They're like, really, we don't eat. Richie went and made popcorn in the kitchen, like this big thing of popcorn. He goes, "This is my dinner every night." And so I was still feeling, and then I got up and I just got sick, and then I had to go to bed. So I was not much of a fun person. So I say, I know you see me out there and you're like, I'm having all these grand times and everything. But if you live with me for 2 days or more, you'll see that there's like, it's kind
all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like the man behind the curtain there too, right? Yeah. Like you get to know the real truth of what's happening with someone who has stage 4 lung cancer. It's not always pretty, and not always a reason why. Like, there was, again, I don't know what happened or why I got sick again. And then the next day I was fine again. Like, it was over and I was fine. And then we went, and same thing. They had a bigger boat than Eddie, which I did send a picture of, like, boat envy to Eddie, and he was not very happy about that. But, it was pretty funny. So we went out on their boat, and that was beautiful as well. And then we, Charlotte bowls, so she had her bowling league that night. And then we were going out to dinner with some of their neighbor friends. And so she was meeting us. We were actually going to this Italian restaurant that was in the same place as where she bowls. And so she met us there, and we met their friends, and they were lovely. And Richie has a party every Friday night during the summer, or when all the like traveler people are there. And that's probably the winter. Yeah, the winter. And all the neighbors all join at his house. And he's got a liquor cabinet, I'm telling you. You know the 2-door closets? Big 2-door, filled, top to bottom. I wished I wasn't sick when I was there. I'm just saying. I got to go back and I got to raid that liquor cabinet on a Friday. But he had everything. He had whatever anybody wanted for a drink. He asked ahead, just like we do here. It must be a Lassonde, Hallworth, Natalie tradition. You got to find out what all your guests want to drink. But he had everything in that cabinet for people. And then, let's see, we left the next day, and we went back across this. Oh, no. Sorry, that was second. We went to Gail's first.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because Gail and Megan were coming home from New Orleans, the real one.
Right.
They went to the real one, not the fake one that we went to. So we went to Gail's and Megan's first. And what did we do there?
I have no idea.
I can't even remember.
You also went to Tom and Sue's, didn't you?
That's at the end. That was back on the other side. Yeah.
I don't know what order any of these things happened in.
So we went to Gail's before Richie's, and we thought Gail might come with us to Richie's, but she was exhausted from all the travel with Megan. And so she's like, next time, she'll come. But, and I was hoping to see Rosemary on that trip too, because she lives right near Richie, but she left for New Zealand. Imagine she would leave us to go to I don't know, that Rosemary. Thought we were friends. Mm-hmm. But we did, I don't even remember. Megan left after the first day. We had 2 tuck tournaments, and that's a game that we play. Usually Megan and Jen are partners, and me and Gail are partners. But she had to settle for Dad, and so I don't know.
Wasn't there some story about that? I forget if they won or lost.
I think they won. I think they won. So
convenient. She doesn't remember.
I don't think they won. But I'm sure that they will chime in if they listen to this, whether they won or not. But we love playing that game. And so Gail just, when she came up here in September, she ordered one and had it sent. It's not the same. We got the board from my friend Joyce's family, and their relatives live in Canada, and it's a Canadian board game. And so it's wood, and it has marbles, and so it's almost similar to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she ordered it on Amazon, so we can put the link below if we find out which one she ordered. But it's really a fun game. So we did that. And then we went to Richie and Charlotte's. And then we left Richie and Charlotte's, and we drove across the state of Florida back over to Longboat Key to Rick's other cousin, Tommy, Richie's brother. Tommy and Sue lived on Longboat Key. Well, they rent a condo.
For the winter?
Well, they rent it for a month, and they're down there right now.
Okay.
So they rent it a few different times a year,
that's cool.
So that they can, when they don't have things that are pressing here. But it was beautiful. We went down the beach with them. We went out to 2 great restaurants. I don't think I was sick with them.
I don't think you were either.
I think I was okay there. And then we left and flew home, and it was the day before Easter. And then I had Easter for, I don't know, 40, 50 people here. And then, but I was smart and ordered a fully cooked turkey at Bonji's in our area. It's a turkey farm, and it was delicious, and I would do the same thing again.
Yeah, it was great.
It was really good. Everyone enjoyed it, and it was a whirlwind. And I think there's pictures of that. I don't know. And I kept saying to my, oh, you got to post these pictures. You got to post if Jen didn't post them, most of the time.
And I wasn't in Florida, so.
They didn't. I know, and I don't remember what I posted. So maybe we go back at some point and put some of these pictures back in into an album. But we did have a great time, and we really enjoyed spending all that time with people. And then my cousin Linda Freeman, her kids came in from California, from San Jose and Los Angeles. Michael and Brad and their people, Brad's girlfriend and Michael's wife, when we went, of course, down to Plymouth the next day after Easter and hung out with them for a while. And then I think I was sick that day too. I didn't eat very much when we went out, but I still went. Yeah. It was still fun. I think I was just exhausted from all the travel and all the stuff. And then, what did we do? Ohio?
Nantucket?
Nantucket? Not Ohio?
Ohio.
I think I went to Ohio.
Oh, you did go to Ohio first. 2 days after Easter, you went to Ohio.
I was like, see?
I can't keep up.
And I do have a brain tumor, but sometimes I have memory.
You don't have much of a brain tumor these days. I don't think you can play that card. I'm just saying.
I know. But I do have one in there somewhere.
Yeah, if we currently can't find it, does it count?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm all for pulling the cancer card whenever, but your memory is still better than mine.
The fogginess of it. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway.
So you did go to Ohio.
I went to Ohio. I wasn't supposed to be going to Ohio, but I went to Ohio because Trish wanted me to go, so I went. And we went to, she had to work, and so we went to our friend Michael Swopes runs a meetup, so I came in on that part. Julie had been there earlier and had done another meetup with Trish before I got there. And then we went and did Michael's meetup. And then the reason, it was part of Julie's bucket list with a twist that she wanted I made them buy a temple. Yes, you heard her here, folks. A temple, a real 4-story Masonic temple. It was like 200-something thousand or something. It was like almost maybe $200,000. It was ridiculous price. They would have spent more on storage units than they spent on this whole building. And so they did buy it after they came to visit Rick and I. And so they wanted us to see it. And it was amazing. It was so great. They had invited, Kelly came to that, Laura, our friend Laura came to that. Then they made one area like a tiki bar in it. Oh, and cool. So we all sat up there in the tiki bar area and had, I had beer. I didn't have those tiki drinks, but and Julie was so thoughtful. We went to the first night when we got there, we went to this restaurant that they love, and the food was delicious. And Michael met us there, and then we went to this the tiki bar that she loves, she brought beer and gave it to them to give to me.
Right. Because they wouldn't have had something.
They don't have anything that I would, because of my mouth, I get sores from anything citrus, and everything is citrus. Like any drink, like there was, and they didn't have any beer. So, which is strange to me. It's like so foreign to me that these, but they don't sell it. Like people that go there don't.
They're not going there for that.
No. So she made sure that the two places that they took us to, 2 tiki bars, that they brought my beer in with them, and the owner let them do that. So that really was cool. Just crazy. And then another day, Chris P. and, oh my goodness, Kelly and someone else, I'm sorry, I'm not remembering the names, all came up and went to the other tiki bar with us. And they came from like 2 hours away. Wow. One came from Pennsylvania, like crazy, just to see me. And it was like, that was so special. And I wasn't sick then either. Although I did get sick at Julie's the day that I got there. They picked me up and we got it. Chris has a big automotive parts shop, and he sells on eBay. And so they brought me there to see it. And I just kept getting sicker and sicker as I was walking through. And then I ended up getting sick there. Not at they brought us to their house, and then I got sick. Yeah. And so, but thankfully that passed pretty quickly. I don't know if it was all like the effects of chemo still like inside me, because it can, and they said it's like cumulative, so it, but I could feel it coming, and it wasn't like motion sickness or car sickness or anything like that, and then it just went away, I
mean, at least that's the good part. It goes away fast, or it did anyways, so that's good.
And so we had a lot of laughs with them, and then what was the other thing you said we did?
4 days later, we went down to Nantucket for the weekend, you, me, and Riley, for Riley's bucket list with a twist item. She wanted to get an ice cream.
But I went to the Red Sox game with Gail before that.
Oh, you did? Was that Gail's bucket list?
Yeah, well...
Sort of?
Yeah, so one of her friends that she does theater with offered these tickets up, and they were this amazing... She played the cancer card, I think, to get the tickets from him. But he was a delightful person, and he was so happy that Gail took me, and she showed him pictures, and so it was these box seats that you could go sit inside and have drinks at a bar. You had your private bathroom. It was just amazing, right? So we come home from that, and he sends a message and says that he wants me to pick any tickets I want for me. Yeah. To go back, because he just thought it would be a nice thing to do, and I could have Yankees, Red Sox, any game I wanted. So I did pick a game for my daughter-in-law, Melissa, because she's a St. Louis fan, and so I picked that, and we went together, and I'll probably tell you more about that later. But that was all because Gail set that up, and we had a really nice time, the two of us, at that game. And then we went to Nantucket for ice cream.
Except
they didn't have
it was
closed.
Pre-season, so
it was a week before. Who knew? Not us.
I mean, it didn't stop us from having a ton of fun. And we did buy out like half the ice cream selection at Stop and Shop.
Yes, but half the ice cream section. The ice cream section was a full entire row on both sides and around the corner.
Yeah.
of cases.
I mean, I guess they know people need ice cream in the off season. So, and I think we did a series of videos when we were there too, so we can.
We did Riley. I went to the largest candy store in the world in Ohio, and I bought candy because I was on video with Riley and Jen as I'm walking around the store, telling me what things they needed to buy, and I bought Usheen hot,
all sorts of spicy things,
whatever,
right?
Those chili pepper candies.
So we did a taste test of all the candy in Nantucket. That was very fun. That's definitely on the Nantucket videos.
And did we do the ice cream too?
I
think we did.
I think we did. Because we
the
got
ice
like
cream
5
too.
different ice creams or something. So.
Because why not? And then we go into a clothing store that we ended up going back like 2 or 3 times. And the owner was like, he heard us talking about it. And he's like, listen, you need to go across the street. They have that ice cream. And they have a lunch counter.
Yeah, it's like an old-fashioned ice cream shop.
It was really kind of cool. And he's like, don't let them tell you they don't have it, because sometimes they don't want to serve it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what that was about, but we went over and it was on the board. Yeah. And so maybe it was like, they just didn't have it like when he had gone before, but I think he thought they were pulling a fast one on him because he wanted their ice cream. But he wanted to make sure that we got it. And that was very sweet of him to do that. Yeah. And it was Vis-a-Vis was the gift shop. If you're in Nantucket, you need to go there. It's the best place. Had the cutest clothes. And we had a really nice time there. Someone stole my cane there. Not in the store.
Yeah, on the street somewhere. That was wild.
Yeah.
We put it down for like 3 seconds, and then we realized it like a half a block later inside a store, and we searched the whole neighborhood, and it was gone.
And we went back into the previous store, and 2 ladies were there, and I said, oh, excuse me, I just wanted to know if anyone saw a cane. And she goes, I saw you with the cane just a minute ago. I go, yeah. Okay, so we knew it. We had it like there to the next store, and then somebody took it. I'm like, really? Really? You need to take somebody's cane? Like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that happened. But I had a lighter knee brace on at the time. From when I went to Florida, well, they found out that because of the chemo, my MCL did not heal from December until March. So once the chemo stopped being inside of me, it started healing. Mm-hmm. And so I had permission from my doctor to wear like a smaller brace with like the ribs on the side, because I was done. I wore that big
metal
one
brace
from December to the end of February, and my knee was no better at all. And that was one of the appointments that we had before we went to Florida. And I was very devastated about that because it was awful. Lugging that big, I had it like, I had to wear it in bed. Like, I was not supposed to move that leg, and I did it. Like, I did exactly what I was told, and then it didn't do anything. Yeah. And so, that was pretty devastating to me, that I feel like I had so little time left, and I had to wear that 3 months, and then it didn't do anything, and now I got to do it for another 6 weeks. And I said to him, I don't really think I want to do that. Yeah. And he said, he was so thoughtful. He was like, I can't put myself in your shoes, and I don't know what I would do if I were you either. He said, but I just don't want you to hurt it any more than it already is. So I guess, whatever you can do to try to protect it, that's what I would do. Like, if you're going out and the streets are wobbly, then put the brace on. If it's, if you're just walking to a restaurant, don't wear the brace. You know, if you're walking in your house, don't wear the brace. So he gave me a little more leeway this time with that. So I was walking better. I mean, when they stole my cane, but still, seriously, like I still did need it.
Yeah, well, especially because it's all cobblestones there. But we, except for like those little bits of shopping, we Ubered everywhere. We didn't really walk a lot of distances because of that. But.
Yeah. So that was an unfortunate thing, and I don't think I got sick there. Did I?
No, we had a great weekend. You were feeling well.
I didn't get sick.
All right, I think we are going to pause it here and break this up into another segment. So we will catch you again in the next video. Thanks for watching so far and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.